A Russian armored personnel carrier crossing a minefield met a grim fate. It was blown to pieces after hitting a mine. A spectacular detonation left behind only fragments of the armored vehicle. Donetsk region, May 18th. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone detected active movements of Russian forces near a tree line. A target was immediately set. To destroy Russian equipment and personnel, Ukrainian artillery opened fire on the enemy sector using cluster munitions. The tree line where the Russians attempted to establish their positions was heavily saturated with intense suppressive fire. At the same time, Ukrainian kamikaze drones arrived at the battlefield and began attacking a Russian self-propelled artillery unit that had been concealed among the trees. Nearby, another Russian self-propelled artillery unit, Gvozdika, was spotted already delivering aimed fire on Ukrainian infantry positions. Wasting no time, Ukrainian drone operators reached the enemy's combat position and unleashed hellish punishment on the Russian artillery crew. The Russian vehicle went up in flames like a torch. It will certainly never fire toward Ukrainian territory again. As they continued scouting the area, Ukrainian drone operators also discovered artillery guns that the Russians had tried to camouflage. However, their efforts were not enough. The guns were destroyed. In the same wooded area, a Russian tank was detected. Concentrating more firepower, the drone operators joined forces and successfully destroyed it as well. Aerial reconnaissance identified another Russian radar transport vehicle, which was also successfully destroyed by kamikaze drone operators. After destroying the enemy vehicles, the drone operators began searching for Russian infantry. Upon hearing the sound of the drone, the Russians tried to blend into the surroundings and hide behind trees, but their efforts were in vain. Here, the drone operators discovered another Russian tank that had been partially buried in the ground. The Russian tank crew likely believed they had camouflaged it well enough to avoid detection, but they were wrong. This is the Zaporizhzhia region, the area of responsibility of the Ronin Brigade. Here, Ukrainian kamikaze drone operators are conducting a deep raid behind enemy lines, over 30 kilometers from the front line. Their mission is not just to locate, but to destroy enemy equipment and personnel who believe they are completely safe. Silently flying high above enemy positions, the drones begin a meticulous search. They scan tree lines where Russian forces are setting up dugouts, identifying every piece of equipment, whether parked or moving, within so-called dead zones. Russian soldiers behave in a relaxed manner, unaware they are already under surveillance. For them, the sky seems calm. They are completely unprepared for an aerial strike. At that very moment, a Ukrainian drone, having already locked onto its target, is ready to strike with pinpoint accuracy. The tactic of the Ukrainian operators is clear: to hit suddenly, precisely, and without leaving any chance for escape. After the drone operators struck several Russian combat vehicles parked in the tree line, the Russians attempted to tow one of the damaged armored personnel carriers. However, the operators quickly caught up with them and delivered a precise strike on the towing vehicle. As a result, Ukrainian drone operators damaged 5 Russian armored personnel carriers, which will either be sent for repairs in the near future or will be completely unable to return to combat. For the Russian soldiers, this served as a stark reminder that they are never truly safe, even far from the front lines. Ukrainian drone operators will find them no matter where they are. May 24th, Sumy region. This is the area of responsibility of the 67th Separate Mechanized Brigade. Operators from the Ukrainian drone forces, using the Vampire bomber drone, are targeting and bombing Russian positions hidden in tree lines and occupied villages. Here, a Russian T-72 tank attempted to tow a damaged armored personnel carrier that had hit a mine. This movement was spotted by the bomber drone operators, and without missing the opportunity to take out 2 Russian armored vehicles at once, they launched into action. From a single drop, the Russian armored personnel carrier caught fire. While the drone returned to reload its bombs, the vehicle was completely engulfed in flames. The operators then turned their attention to the Russian tank, which had stalled during the towing attempt and couldn't be restarted, making it the next target for destruction. This Russian soldier froze in place upon hearing the sound of the drone, perhaps thinking that if he didn't move, the operator wouldn't notice him. That was a fatal mistake. That's all for today. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest events. This report was prepared by Hustler. See you soon.